Welcome to UDK Resurrection. My name is Gina. You may know me as the female prisoner 849 from Unreal. Yep, it's true, and I will be your narrator for this video. Today we will be going through the fundamentals of meshes and materials, and I will show you how to use them both for your game. So what is a mesh? A mesh is a 3D model imported into Unreal Engine. There are two main types of meshes, static and skeletal. A static mesh is typically used as a building prop for the environment in your level. A skeletal mesh, on the other hand, can be used for gameplay actors like characters, vehicles, weapons, and certain animate items or props. Now what about a material? Glad you asked. Materials are the in-game shaders that color your meshes. Without them, you're stuck with checkerboard materials as a failsafe, not something you want in your final product. With materials, you can apply textures and many other parameters to adjust the overall look of your mesh or BSP surface. Let's import a mesh into the game. I am going to import a skeletal mesh into the game using a character model Anya Nacho provided me with. Feel free to use any mesh you like. There are plenty available on websites like TurboSquid and Sketchfab. Sadly, we won't be able to cover rigging in this tutorial, so you are on your own with that. Now that we have a model to import, it is time to import it into Unreal Ed. Click on the Import button on the bottom left side of the content browser. Navigate to your model and select it for import. If necessary, make any adjustments with the mesh name, group, and package you want to save your new mesh to, then click OK. Now our mesh is almost ready for use. Double-click on the mesh to launch the mesh editor. For skeletal meshes, this will be the Anim Set editor. For static meshes, this will be the Static Mesh editor. Now, as you can see here, our mesh is suffering from a case of checkerboard-itis. Let's give our mesh some materials. Close the mesh editor for now. Start creating a material by either clicking the New button on the content browser or right-click on the gray space and select New Material. Make adjustments to the name and group, then click OK. Now it's time to set up our material. Double-click on the material to launch the material editor. I want to give it a blue color and make it a little shiny, so let's do that. Right-click on the gray space and navigate to Constant, then Constant 3 Vector, and click on it. Then double-click on the newly created Constant 3 Vector to access the color wheel. Select a blue hue, then click OK. Now we have a blue material, but it feels flat for me, so I'm going to add another constant for specular lighting. Same process, except just select Constant. There we go. Much better. Now let's close the material editor and then double-click our mesh to launch their respective mesh editor. Now let's apply the material to the mesh. For skeletal meshes, find materials under the skeletal mesh category and click the drop-down. Depending on the material IDs set in the 3D model, you may see more than one material slot. Just assign your material to all slots. It is also imperative to reduce the material IDs as low as possible in your 3D model creator of choice. There are many tutorials on how to do this all over YouTube using Blender, 3ds Max, or Maya. To assign your material to a slot, click on it in the content browser, then move back to the mesh editor and click this green arrow. Repeat this for all slots. Finally, to test it, let's drag this mesh into the scene. Congratulations, we now have a mesh setup and ready for use in Unreal Engine 3. This concludes this tutorial video. If you like what we do, click the subscribe and bell buttons. Until then, this is Gina signing off.